Welcome back to our channel. Today we're taking a closer look at a fascinating aspect of the celebrity world. 20 rich celebrities who embrace a simple lifestyle. In an industry often associated with luxury and excess, these stars stand out by choosing to live modestly. They might be at the pinnacle of success, but they've opted for a lifestyle that's refreshingly down to earth. Ready to find out who they are and how they live? Let's dive in. 20. Keanu Reeves. Starting off at number 20 is Keanu Reeves, the beloved actor known for his roles in iconic films like The Matrix and John Wick. Despite his massive success, Keanu leads a remarkably modest life. He's famously seen riding the subway, enjoying a simple meal, or giving away his earnings to crew members on set. His generosity is legendary. He reportedly donated a substantial portion of his earnings from The Matrix to cancer research after his sister's battle with the disease. Keanu's unpretentious lifestyle, including his preference for simplicity over luxury, makes him a standout figure in Hollywood. 19. Joaquin Phoenix. Number 19 on our list is Joaquin Phoenix, renowned for his intense and powerful performances. Joaquin's commitment to a simple lifestyle is evident in his activism and personal choices. As a passionate advocate for animal rights, he maintains a vegan lifestyle and uses his platform to promote environmental and ethical causes. Joaquin's public appearances often include attending animal rights protests and speaking out on issues that matter to him. His dedication to living in accordance with his values and his refusal to indulge in Hollywood excess reflect a deeply principled and modest approach to life. 18. Emma Watson. At number 18, Emma Watson is not just a talented actress, but also a dedicated advocate for sustainability and gender equality. Despite her fame from the Harry Potter series, Emma chooses a life of simplicity and purpose. She is often seen wearing sustainable fashion and actively participates in initiatives like the United Nations He for She campaign. Emma's commitment to promoting environmental consciousness and her down-to-earth demeanor highlight her dedication to living a life that aligns with her ethical and social values. 17. Matt Damon. Number 17 is Matt Damon, an actor who balances his Hollywood success with a commitment to modest living. Matt is known for his dedication to family life and practical choices, such as driving a relatively modest car compared to other celebrities. He's also heavily involved in philanthropic efforts, particularly through his work with Water.org, an organization he co-founded to provide clean water to communities in need. Matt's focus on family and meaningful causes rather than luxury underscores his grounded nature and genuine approach to life. 16. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. At number 16, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson is known for his charismatic personality and impressive career. Yet he maintains a surprisingly simple lifestyle. Dwayne frequently shares moments from his life that highlight his dedication to fitness, family, and simplicity. He often posts about his daily workouts, family time, and down-to-earth moments on social media. Despite his immense success in wrestling and film, Dwayne's preference for family-centric activities and his reluctance to indulge in Hollywood excess reflect his commitment to staying grounded and authentic. 15. Meryl Streep. Meryl Streep, number 15, is one of the most acclaimed actresses in cinema history, yet she leads a modest life. Meryl avoids the Hollywood limelight, often seen in casual attire and focusing on her craft and family life. She lives in a small town and prefers a low-key existence away from the hustle and bustle of Hollywood. Meryl's grounded nature and her commitment to her family and career over the trappings of fame highlight her authentic and humble approach to life. 14. Sandra Bullock. Sandra Bullock, number 14, combines her successful career with a humble lifestyle. Sandra is known for her generosity and philanthropy, often participating in charity events and focusing on her family life. She avoids the flashy side of Hollywood, choosing instead to invest her time and resources into causes that resonate with her. Sandra's preference for a private, modest life and her dedication to giving back reflect her values and priorities beyond the glitz and glamour of the entertainment industry. 13. Paul Rudd. Paul Rudd, number 13, is celebrated for his comedic talent and relatable persona. Despite his success, Paul maintains a simple, approachable lifestyle. He's frequently seen in casual outfits and is known for his warm interactions with fans. Paul's choice to live modestly, coupled with his genuine personality, makes him a refreshing presence in Hollywood. His ability to stay grounded and his focus on enjoying life's simple pleasures highlight his unpretentious approach to fame. 12. Ellen DeGeneres. 2 minutes. Number 12 is Ellen DeGeneres, who merges her fame with a commitment to simplicity. Ellen's philanthropic efforts are well documented, and she often appears in casual clothing both on and off her show. Her focus on helping others and maintaining a private, modest lifestyle demonstrates her dedication to living authentically. Ellen's preference for a low-key existence, despite her high profile, underscores her genuine nature and commitment to making a positive impact on the world. 11. Gwyneth Paltrow. Gwyneth Paltrow, number 11, is a successful actress and entrepreneur who leads a relatively simple life. Despite the success of her Goop brand, Gwyneth emphasizes wellness and simplicity in her personal life. She often opts for practical clothing and focuses on maintaining a balanced, healthy lifestyle. Gwyneth's dedication to health and her choice to live modestly reflect her commitment to staying true to her values and promoting a life of balance and authenticity. 10. Mark Ruffalo. Mark Ruffalo, number 10, is an activist and actor who embraces a modest lifestyle. Mark is actively involved in environmental causes and frequently shares his commitment to living simply. His participation in grassroots activism and focus on family life highlight his dedication to living in alignment with his values. Mark's choice to lead a low-profile existence and his genuine efforts to make a difference underscore his grounded nature and commitment to meaningful causes. 9. Jared Leto. Jared Leto, at number 9, is known for his eclectic style, but maintains a surprisingly simple lifestyle off-screen. Despite his high-profile career, Jared values privacy and often prefers casual attire and everyday activities. His preference for maintaining a low-key personal life and his focus on his music and creative projects reflect his desire to stay grounded and authentic, despite the pressures of fame. 8. Jessica Alba. Jessica Alba, number 8, is a successful actress and entrepreneur who is also a proponent of simplicity. Beyond her Hollywood career, Jessica has focused on creating The Honest Company, which emphasizes eco-friendly and sustainable products. Her lifestyle reflects her commitment to health and environmental consciousness, as she often shares her life as a mother and businesswoman in a practical, down-to-earth manner. Jessica's preference for simplicity and her focus on making a positive impact through her business illustrate her values and dedication to living authentically. 7. Natalie Portman. Natalie Portman, number 7, is a brilliant actress and scholar who chooses a simple and purposeful life. Alongside her successful film career, Natalie has pursued her education, earning a degree from Harvard. She is also known for her activism in environmental and animal rights causes. Natalie's decision to focus on her education and advocacy, coupled with her preference for maintaining a low profile, showcases her commitment to living a life aligned with her personal values and intellectual pursuits. 6. Chris Pratt. Chris Pratt, number 6, is known for his humor and down-to-earth personality. Despite his fame, Chris enjoys the simple pleasures of life and often shares moments from his family life and everyday experiences. His candidness about his modest beginnings and his preference for a low-key lifestyle underscore his genuine and relatable nature. Chris's approach to fame and his focus on family and simplicity highlight his grounded personality and ability to stay true to his roots. 5. Ricky Martin. Ricky Martin, number 5, combines his fame with a commitment to simplicity and philanthropy. Known for his music and advocacy, Ricky lives a modest life centered around family and charitable efforts. He is actively involved in various causes, including his own foundation, which focuses on the welfare of children. Ricky's dedication to living simply and giving back to the community illustrates his values and priorities, making him a respected figure in both his personal and professional life. 4. Diane Keaton. Diane Keaton, number 4, is celebrated for her iconic roles and distinctive style, but she also embraces a simple lifestyle. Diane's choice to live modestly and participate in charitable activities demonstrates her grounded nature. She often appears in low-key settings and is known for her active involvement in various causes. Diane's ability to stay humble and use her success for good highlights her commitment to living authentically and making a positive impact. 3. Ethan Hawke. Ethan Hawke, number 3, is an actor and writer who values simplicity and authenticity. Ethan often speaks about his preference for modest living and focuses on his family and creative endeavors. His public appearances are usually understated, reflecting his grounded nature. Ethan's dedication to his craft and his choice to prioritize family life over Hollywood excess highlight his genuine and humble approach to fame. 2. Renee Zellweger. Renee Zellweger, number 2, is known for her successful career and private lifestyle. Despite her fame, Renee chooses to live modestly, focusing on her family and personal happiness. She often avoids the Hollywood scene, preferring a low-profile existence. Renee's commitment to maintaining a simple life and staying true to her personal values reflects her grounded approach to living. 1. Julia Roberts. And finally, at number 1, we have Julia Roberts. Despite her immense success and iconic status, Julia leads a remarkably simple life. She focuses on her family, avoids the Hollywood party scene, and prefers to keep her personal life private. Julia's dedication to a modest lifestyle and her ability to stay grounded despite her fame make her a true standout in the world of celebrities. Her approach to living a fulfilling life without the trappings of excess is both inspiring and refreshing. There you have it, 20 rich celebrities who embrace a simple lifestyle. These stars prove that true wealth isn't about indulgence, but about living authentically and with purpose. They remind us that even in the world of Hollywood, simplicity and humility can shine brightly. Their choices show that no matter how high you climb, staying true to your values and living modestly can be incredibly fulfilling. We hope you enjoyed this deep dive into the lives of these remarkable individuals. If you did, make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more fascinating content. We'd love to hear from you. Who's your favorite humble celebrity? Or is there another topic you'd like us to cover? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.
Hollywood isn't just about fame and fortune, it's built on secrets, scandals, and sex. Some stars have taken their desires to outrageous levels, becoming infamous for their wild behavior behind the scenes. This is a cinematic odyssey, and today we're exposing the biggest sex freaks in Hollywood history. Let's dive in. Clark Gable.
Stop blowing, it's going to be a new year in the world for everybody. Except you. You can't scare me.
We're kicking things off with a Hollywood legend, Clark Gable, the king of Hollywood himself. Known for his rugged charm and smoldering presence on screen, Gable was every bit the heartthrob audiences adored. But behind the scenes, he had a reputation as one of Tinseltown's most notorious sex freaks. Clark Gable didn't have the glamorous start you'd expect from a Hollywood king. Born in 1901 in Ohio, he grew up in a working-class family and didn't even consider acting until his late teens. When he finally made his way to Hollywood, Gable's charm, wit, and devil-may-care attitude quickly got him noticed, both by producers and his co-stars. But it wasn't just his talent on screen that made him famous. Gable's love life was the stuff of legend. He was married 5 times, but his most famous relationships were with women he wasn't married to, like his torrid affair with co-star Joan Crawford. The relationship reportedly began in the early 1930s, when Gable and Crawford were both rising stars at MGM. They first worked together in The Dance Fools, Dance, 1931, where their on-screen spark was so intense it became impossible for the crew and studio executives to ignore. The two were drawn to each other, both possessing a magnetic charm and a rebellious streak that set them apart from other stars. Their affair was considered scandalous, especially because both were married at the time, Crawford to actor Douglas Fairbanks Jr., and Gable to his second wife, Rhea Langham. MGM executives, particularly the formidable studio head Louis B. Mayer, were deeply concerned about the potential fallout of their relationship. Mayer reportedly ordered the two to cool things down, fearing that public knowledge of their affair would tarnish their carefully crafted star personas. To mitigate the situation, Mayer even reassigned their filming schedules and tried to distance them professionally. Clark Gable's affair with Joan Crawford wasn't the first time he stepped outside the boundaries of his marriage. His first wife, Josephine Dillon, played a pivotal role in his rise to stardom, but their marriage was far from a romantic fairy tale. Gable's relationship with Josephine, who was 17 years his senior, was more of a mentorship than a passionate union. Gable married Josephine in 1924 when he was still a struggling actor. Dillon, a theater coach and aspiring filmmaker, recognized Gable's potential and helped transform him into the debonair leading man the world would come to know. As Gable began landing bigger roles and mingling with Hollywood elites, he increasingly distanced himself from Dillon. Gable began having affairs, and his infidelities became an open secret. One of his most notable dalliances during this time was reportedly with actress Franz Dörfler, though details of their relationship remain scarce. He divorced her in 1930, just as his career was taking off after signing with MGM. And then there was Gone with the Wind. Gable's portrayal of Rhett Butler cemented his place in Hollywood history, but behind the scenes, he had a much more scandalous reputation. He allegedly had an affair with co-star Vivien Leigh, adding to the long list of women who found him irresistible. But his conquests weren't always consensual gossip. Clark Gable's alleged assault of actress Loretta Young is one of the darker chapters in his Hollywood career, shrouded in secrecy and controversy. The story revolves around an affair that occurred during the making of the 1935 film The Call of the Wild. According to some accounts, Gable assaulted Young, which resulted in her becoming pregnant. Hollywood's studio system was notoriously adept at covering up scandals during this era, and Young was pressured to remain silent. Loretta Young, who'd been a rising star in Hollywood, was not willing to ruin her career over the scandal. She later claimed to have adopted the child, a girl named Judy Lewis, who would later learn the truth about her parentage. It wasn't until years later that Judy Lewis, the daughter of Gable and Young, revealed the truth about her parentage. In her memoir, Uncommon Knowledge, Lewis wrote about her discovery that Gable was her biological father. She recounted the secrecy and confusion surrounding her early years and how she had long believed she was adopted before finally learning the truth as a teenager. Lewis also confirmed that her mother, Loretta Young, had been forced to play along with the cover-up to protect both her career and Gable's. Even as he aged, Gable's allure remained strong, with numerous affairs during his marriages and a charm that captivated women across generations. Clark Gable may have been the king of Hollywood. But up next, we're diving into the life of a woman who took scandal to a whole new level. Vivien Leigh. Our next story takes us to Vivien Leigh.
But it does seem to me that after you broke your knee last year jumping that same fence...
I'll not have my own daughter telling me what I shall jump in.
The legendary actress who brought Scarlett O'Hara to life. A two-time Oscar winner, Leigh was captivating on screen, but behind the scenes, her personal life burned with intensity and controversy. During the filming of Gone with the Wind, Leigh and her co-star Clark Gable reportedly had an electrifying dynamic, on and off set. In a candid revelation years later, Leigh claimed that Gable, embodying the roguish Rhett Butler a little too well, had once crossed the line during a moment of unscripted passion. According to Leigh, Gable's on-screen charm had a darker edge. She recalled an unsettling incident where his advances went too far, leaving a stain on their legendary partnership. While the story was only shared once at a dinner party, her refusal to discuss it again hints at deeper truths hidden behind Hollywood's golden facade. Vivien Leigh wasn't just a Hollywood icon, she was also infamous for her insatiable desires. Her dazzling beauty and undeniable talent hid a deeply troubled mind, marked by severe manic depression that spiraled into erratic behavior, sexual compulsions, and destructive relationships. Those close to her whispered about her unusually large appetites, a trait that often left her partners exhilarated, exhausted, or both. During her marriage to Olivier, Leigh's need for intimacy was so intense that it reportedly became a daily ritual. Their breaks from work turned into what one biographer called carnal marathons, with hotel rooms transformed into fortresses of passion. Olivier once remarked that Leigh's drive was burdensome, though he initially managed to keep up with her pace. Friends and stagehands shared stories of Olivier and Leigh locking themselves away an hour before every performance, indulging in their physical connection before the curtain rose. However, their private passion eventually turned to public scandal. Leigh's well-known affair with actor Peter Finch, while still married to Olivier, surprised even those used to Hollywood scandals. Finch later admitted that being with Leigh was intense, describing their time together as exciting but completely overwhelming. As Leigh's mental health declined, her compulsions grew darker. She confessed to fantasies of picking up strangers, taxi drivers, delivery men, and inviting them home. Friends reported her disappearing for hours, only to return disheveled but beaming, with no explanation needed. Even her close friend Noel Coward grew exasperated, writing in his diary, "She is barmy, but she's also been indulged for so long that her wildness is no longer charming." It's tragic. Vivien's mental health struggles led to increasingly erratic behavior. She hallucinated, had violent outbursts, and attempted to harm herself on several occasions. At one point, she was institutionalized and subjected to harsh treatments like electroshock therapy, leaving physical and emotional scars that stayed with her for life. Despite her personal turmoil, Vivien's talent shone on screen and stage. Yet her inner demons ultimately eroded her career and health. After her marriage to Olivier ended in 1960, she lived out her final years battling tuberculosis and depression, relying on the companionship of actor Jack Marival, who became more of a caretaker than a partner. She passed away in 1967 at just 53, leaving behind a legacy of brilliance overshadowed by tragedy. Diana Dors. Next up is Diana Dors, often dubbed the British Marilyn Monroe.
Oh. I thought you were someone else.
Known for her sultry looks and undeniable charisma, Dors became a tabloid sensation not just for her acting, but for her scandalous personal life. Born Diana Mary Fluck in 1931, she was raised in Swindon, England, and showed a flair for performance early on. By the time she entered the London Academy of Music and Dramatic Art at just 14, her path to stardom was already in motion. Diana's screen presence quickly earned her roles in British films, and soon she was compared to Hollywood icons. But Dors wasn't just about glitz and glamour. She embraced controversy like a second skin. In the 1950s, Diana Dors was one of Britain's biggest and most lusted-after film stars. Dubbed England's Marilyn Monroe, she became the country's highest-paid female actor by the time she was just 25. With iconic roles in films like Yield to the Night and The Tread Softly Stranger, Dors captured the public's imagination on screen. However, her off-screen life was just as colorful and far more scandalous. In 1960, Diana sensationally confessed to the news of the world about her infamous celebrity parties at her Berkshire home. She boldly shared, "There were no half measures at my parties. Off came the sweaters, bras, and panties. In fact, off with everything except the lights." This was a bold admission, as the 1960s Britain was still quite conservative when it came to public discussions of sexuality. The revelation of these wild parties, complete with two-way mirrors and secretly filmed sex acts, shocked many. Doors parties were legendary in the showbiz world. She and her first husband, Dennis Hamilton, threw infamous get-togethers attended by film stars, socialites, and sportsmen. Guests often had no idea they were being filmed, and the events were known for their decadence. Comedian Bob Monkhouse, who attended one of these parties, recounted a night full of dim lighting, blue films, and sexual escapades that included voyeurism through hidden mirrors. Despite public criticism, including harsh comments from the Archbishop of Canterbury and the mayor of her hometown, Diana's notoriety seemed only to fuel her fame. She continued hosting wild parties well into the 1960s and 70s, all while balancing a successful career in film and television. She later married actor Alan Lake in 1968, and their son, Jason, recalled that the hot parties were a regular feature of his childhood. Interestingly, Jason also shared that despite her parties, Diana remained monogamous with her husband and never participated in the sexual activities herself. According to him, she simply maintained a sense of normalcy about her unconventional lifestyle, leaving her guests to revel in their freedom while she watched or withdrew into private rooms with her husband. Diana Dors was unapologetically ahead of her time, using her fame to challenge societal norms. Her life, filled with salacious tales, sex-fueled parties, and bold confessions, ensured she would remain one of Hollywood's most fascinating and scandalous figures. Charlie Sheen. Next, we have Charlie Sheen, a Hollywood bad boy whose life was one scandal after another.
You can act through those interviews, right?
Thank you, yeah. But the problem is that it doesn't really matter what the subject presents as content.
Born to actor Martin Sheen, Charlie quickly rose to fame in films like Le Platoon and The Wall Street. But it wasn't just his acting that made headlines, it was his chaotic personal life. His shocking behavior, including heavy spending on sex workers and notorious relationships, left an indelible mark on his legacy. In 1995, Sheen made headlines when he admitted to spending $53,000 on sexual services from sex workers. Later, in a 2000 Maxim interview, he claimed to have slept with over 5,000 women. But his personal life wasn't just about sex, it was fraught with scandal. Sheen was married 3 times, and in his second marriage to actress Denise Richards, the relationship quickly turned toxic. Richards filed for divorce in 2005, citing abusive and threatening behavior. She claimed Sheen's addiction to gambling and prescription medications worsened, causing erratic behavior and violent outbursts. She alleged that Sheen had become obsessed with conspiracies, including the belief that vaccines were dangerous and that 9/11 was an inside job. According to Richards, the marriage had started deteriorating on their honeymoon when Sheen began secretly using Xanax. She also claimed that Sheen's porn addiction included disturbing material involving underage-looking girls. The marriage's final straw was when Richards suffered complications during her pregnancy. She claimed Sheen's reaction was cold, refusing to help her when she was in distress. The divorce papers also revealed Sheen's attempt to discredit a sex worker who sold a story about their affair during their marriage. Sheen's personal drama didn't end there. In 2015, he shocked the world when he announced he'd been HIV positive for 4 years. But his most explosive scandal came when actor Corey Feldman accused Sheen of sexually assaulting his Lucas co-star, Corey Haim, in 1986. Feldman's documentary, My Truth, The Rape of Two Coreys, alleged that Sheen, 18 at the time, raped the 13-year-old Haim. Sheen has denied the allegations, but they have continued to haunt his legacy. Charlie Sheen's life is one of chaos, controversy, and scandal, making him one of Hollywood's most troubled and talked about figures. Charlie Chaplin. Moving on, we have the legendary Charlie Chaplin. Known for his iconic silent films, but also infamous for his controversial personal life. Chaplin's path to fame was as remarkable as it was scandalous. Born into poverty in London, he worked his way up through vaudeville before becoming one of Hollywood's biggest stars. But it wasn't just his films that caught attention. His relationships did too. His most infamous marriage was to 16-year-old actress Mildred Harris in 1918. At the time, Chaplin was in his late 20s, and the union was highly criticized due to Harris's age. The marriage quickly soured, and they divorced just 2 years later. But it set a pattern for Chaplin's future relationships with younger women. Chaplin married Lita Gray in 1924 when she was just 16 and he was 35. They had met on the set of The Kid, and soon after, she became pregnant with his child. The marriage was rushed, partly due to the pressure of the pregnancy, but it quickly became strained. Gray's parents were reportedly concerned about Chaplin's behavior towards their daughter, and the marriage soon became toxic. The accusations of abuse, both physical and emotional, came to light when Gray filed for divorce. She alleged that Chaplin had treated her cruelly during their short marriage. Gray accused Chaplin of forcing her into sex, including claims that he had made threats when she didn't comply. The public nature of these accusations was shocking at the time, especially as Chaplin had maintained a pristine public image, largely due to his role as the lovable, kind-hearted little tramp. In addition to the abuse claims, Gray's legal team also brought up Chaplin's infidelity, with rumors suggesting he had affairs with other women during their marriage. These accusations made headlines, and the press had a field day with the salacious details, turning the divorce into one of the most sensational celebrity scandals of the era. The divorce proceedings were highly contentious, with Gray and her legal team seeking a substantial settlement, while Chaplin fought to minimize the amount he would have to pay. In the end, Chaplin was forced to give Gray a large settlement, reportedly around $600,000, a significant sum at the time. However, the most damaging scandal to Chaplin's reputation occurred in the early 1940s, when he became embroiled in a paternity suit. He had been having an affair with a 12-year-old actress named Joan Barry. In 1942, Barry filed a paternity suit claiming that Chaplin had fathered her child. Despite Chaplin's denials, a court ruling declared him the father, though the paternity test results were reportedly inconclusive. This scandal sparked outrage, especially during a time when Chaplin's political views were already under scrutiny due to his pro-peace stance and rumored communist sympathies. The lawsuit and its aftermath severely damaged his public image and continued to tarnish his reputation for years. The documentary, The Real Charlie Chaplin, explores the complex man behind the persona. It dives into his rise from poverty to stardom, the creation of his beloved character, and the scandals that marked his later years. His story is both a rags-to-riches tale and a cautionary one, as it reveals the painful contradictions of a man who sought both adoration and isolation. Ava Gardner. Next on our list is Ava Gardner.
Very good. Alberto's having a fantastic time.
It's about time. Last night, that Greek took him for a whole South American jungle.
The sultry starlet whose beauty and charisma defined classic Hollywood's golden age. Ava wasn't just known for her acting chops. Her private life was equally captivating, marked by scandal, passion, and unapologetic living. Born in Grabtown, North Carolina in 1922, Gardner's journey to stardom was almost accidental. A photographer's portrait of her caught the eye of MGM, and she was quickly signed to the studio. Her rise to fame came with films like The Killers, 1946, and Mogambo, 1953, where her smoldering screen presence solidified her as one of Hollywood's most desirable leading ladies. But off-screen, Ava's personal life was just as dramatic. Even in her early days, Ava was no stranger to controversy. Her marriage to Mickey Rooney might have been short-lived, but it set the tone for her wild romantic life. Mickey, notorious for his affairs, met his match in Ava, who wasn't afraid to indulge in her own desires. Her second marriage to bandleader Artie Shaw was another volatile chapter. Shaw was controlling, but Ava's free spirit couldn't be tamed. She reportedly had extramarital flings during their marriage, unwilling to let societal expectations dictate her life. It was her third marriage to Frank Sinatra, however, that truly rocked Hollywood. Their relationship was as fiery in private as it was dramatic in public. Ava openly admitted that their passionate love life often bordered on destructive, with jealous rages and makeup sessions that left their friends stunned. She once quipped that their fights often ended in the bedroom, where their chemistry couldn't be denied. But Ava's affairs weren't limited to her husbands. She was known for her dalliances with some of the most powerful men of her era. Her fling with billionaire Howard Hughes was as scandalous as it was tempestuous, with Hughes reportedly obsessing over her long after their affair ended. During her time in Spain, she partied with young matadors and openly flaunted her affairs. She even propositioned Robert Stack for a foursome. though he conveniently fell ill. Perhaps one of her most infamous moments came during the filming of Night of the Iguana. With co-stars Richard Burton and Elizabeth Taylor constantly drunk, Gardner matched them drink for drink. Director John Huston embraced the chaos, gifting the cast gold-plated pistols engraved with each other's names. Ava's on-set antics were legendary, from water skiing excursions to seducing local men. Ava was unapologetic about her sex life and never shied away from discussing it. She famously said, "I've always loved men, and they've always loved me back." Her openness and confidence in her sexuality made her both an icon and a lightning rod for criticism in conservative Hollywood. Russell Brand. Transitioning from Hollywood's golden age to a more contemporary figure, we land on Russell Brand.
That I was able to let go of the experience and have never thought about it since. I feel that it might be fundamental.
A man whose reputation for outrageous behavior and unapologetic hedonism is practically his calling card. Known for his quick wit and flamboyant personality, Brand's fame skyrocketed in the mid-2000s with his stand-up comedy, acting, and as the host of the Big Brother's Big Mouth. But his success was often eclipsed by his notorious sex life. Brand openly admitted to being a sex addict, detailing his escapades in his memoir, My Bookie Walk. According to him, there were times when he slept with multiple partners in a single day, facilitated by a mix of fame, charisma, and a penchant for indulgence. His personal assistant reportedly carried a list of names and phone numbers to schedule his encounters. Raised in Essex, England, Russell endured a troubled childhood marked by his parents' separation and his mother's battle with cancer. These early struggles led him to seek solace in attention and excess. Comedy became his escape route, and by the time he burst onto the scene, his unique blend of irreverence and intellect made him a star. But fame amplified his vices. A drug and alcohol addict in his early years, Brand entered rehab and overcame his substance abuse, only to replace it with another addiction: sex. His high-profile relationships, including his short-lived marriage to pop superstar Katy Perry, were often fodder for tabloids, with stories of infidelity and outrageous behavior making headlines. Brand's exploits reached their peak during his Hollywood tenure, where he was once branded as unmanageable by studio executives. His most shocking revelation? He claimed to have slept with over 1,000 women. His relationships often blurred the lines between personal and professional, with stories of publicized hookups and rumored affairs with co-stars making their way into tabloids. There were also rumors about inappropriate behavior, with some people claiming that Brand's overly sexual actions sometimes went too far. While his career thrived on shocking humor, changing times brought more criticism to the behavior that once made him famous. In recent years, Brand has reinvented himself as a wellness advocate and political commentator. After overcoming his struggles with addiction, he dedicated himself to personal growth and began exploring spirituality, meditation, and mindfulness practices. Brand authored several books about his journey, including Recovery, Freedom from Our Addictions, where he details his 12-step recovery journey and offers guidance to others battling similar issues. His focus on self-improvement also extended to his podcast and YouTube channel, where he discusses topics ranging from mental health and spirituality to societal issues and global politics. Marlon Brando. Let's turn the spotlight on another Hollywood legend whose personal life was as groundbreaking as his on-screen performances, Marlon Brando.
In Canada with Catherine Cornell, and I was in Eagle Rampant with Tallulah Bankhead.
Known as one of the most influential actors of the 20th century, Brando was a force of nature, both in his art and his relationships. Marlon Brando was born on April 3, 1924, in Omaha, Nebraska, into a tumultuous household. His mother, Dorothy, was an actress and activist, but also an alcoholic, while his father, Marlon Sr., was distant and harsh. This volatile environment shaped young Brando, who developed a sensitivity to human emotions that would later define his acting style. Brando struggled in school and was sent to military academy, where he first showcased his rebellious streak. But it wasn't until he moved to New York City to study acting under Stella Adler at the Actors Studio that his life found purpose. Adler introduced him to method acting and the emotional depth he'd later bring to his roles. Marlon Brando wasn't just a heartthrob, he was a sexual dynamo. Born in 1924, his charisma was apparent from an early age. As he rose to fame in the late 1940s, Brando became a magnet for lovers of all genders. His raw energy, smoldering looks, and rebellious persona made him irresistible, and he knew it. Brando once said, "Like a large number of men, I too have had homosexual experiences, and I am not ashamed of it." This openness about his sexuality was groundbreaking and scandalous in a conservative Hollywood era. Brando's career took off with a streetcar named Desire, where his portrayal of Stanley Kowalski oozed sensuality. Off-screen, his appetite for passion was insatiable. Co-stars fell under his spell, including Marilyn Monroe, Rita Moreno, and French actress Tarita Teripaya. His relationship with Rita Moreno was one of his most tumultuous. She described their years together as thrilling but emotionally devastating, driven by Brando's endless affairs. He even impregnated Moreno during their time together, leading her to terminate the pregnancy at his insistence. Moreno later confessed she attempted suicide after finding evidence of yet another affair, saying, "To him, it was all a game." Brando's bisexuality was an open secret. In addition to his famous female lovers, he had intimate relationships with men, including his close friend, actor Wally Cox, and French writer Jean Cocteau. His affairs weren't just about sex, they reflected a deep curiosity about human connection. Friends and biographers claimed that Brando would seduce people simply for the thrill of conquering them. Despite his marriages, Brando's libido couldn't be tamed. His third wife, Tarita Teripaya, revealed that his infidelity was constant, often involving staff, co-stars, and strangers alike. In one shocking account, Brando reportedly invited a young man he met at a Hollywood party to join him and his then-partner for an intimate evening. Such escapades were not uncommon, as Brando relished pushing societal boundaries. His need for new experiences extended beyond the bedroom. Brando was known for attending underground sex clubs, where he sought out unconventional pleasures that satisfied his adventurous spirit. Another scandal involved Brando's unconventional relationship with men in the industry. Close friend Truman Capote alleged that Brando had numerous affairs with men, including well-known actors and writers. Marlon Brando was more than a Hollywood legend. He was a man unafraid to explore his desires, defy conventions, and live unapologetically. Who do you think was the biggest sex freak in Hollywood history? Let us know in the comments below. Thank you for watching Cinematic Odyssey. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more untold stories from Hollywood's wildest stars.
Welcome back to our channel. Hollywood is known for its glitz and glamour, but behind the scenes, there's a shadowy world of scandals and cover-ups. Today, we're diving into 20 of the most shocking scandals that Hollywood tried to keep hidden. From secret affairs to criminal cover-ups, these stories expose the darker side of the entertainment industry. Buckle up for an eye-opening journey into the scandals that Hollywood would rather keep buried. 1. The Clark Gable and Carole Lombard affair. Clark Gable and Carole Lombard were the quintessential Hollywood couple of the 1930s. Their romance, marked by public displays of affection and adoring media coverage, seemed like the perfect fairy tale. However, behind the scenes, their relationship was far more complex and troubled. Gable's extramarital affairs were well known among Hollywood insiders. Notably, there were rumors of a relationship with another prominent actress, though no concrete evidence surfaced publicly. Lombard's tragic death in 1942 in a plane crash was officially ruled an accident, but the circumstances surrounding it have fueled speculation for decades. Gable's erratic behavior and rumored substance abuse in the months leading up to her death raised eyebrows. Some suggest that the plane crash, which took place during World War II, may have been a cover for something more sinister, though no evidence has ever substantiated these claims. The industry quickly moved to downplay these darker aspects, focusing instead on the glamorous public image of the couple. 2. The cover-up of Roman Polanski's crime. Roman Polanski's career was marred by a scandal in 1977 when he was charged with drugging and raping a 13-year-old girl, Samantha Geimer. Despite the severity of the charges, Polanski received a surprising amount of leniency. Many high-profile figures, including actors and directors, defended him, and the case was handled with unusual discretion. Polanski's defense team employed a strategy of downplaying the gravity of the situation, and the case quickly became one of the most contentious legal battles in Hollywood history. Polanski fled the United States before sentencing, living in exile for decades. The film industry's response was telling. Instead of condemning Polanski, many chose to focus on his artistic achievements, effectively shifting public attention away from the scandal. The manner in which Hollywood managed to shield Polanski from the full consequences of his actions reflects the industry's tendency to protect its own, regardless of the severity of the alleged crimes. 3. The Harvey Weinstein sexual abuse scandal. In 2017, Harvey Weinstein, one of Hollywood's most powerful producers, was exposed for a history of sexual abuse and harassment. The New York Times and The New Yorker published detailed reports of numerous allegations from women across the industry. Weinstein's misconduct had been rumored for years, but it was kept under wraps through non-disclosure agreements and legal threats. The scandal ignited the Oscar Me Too movement, bringing widespread attention to issues of sexual harassment and assault in Hollywood. Weinstein's downfall was swift, but the industry's initial reaction was to attempt to minimize the damage. Many of Weinstein's defenders argued that his behavior was an open secret and not surprising given the power dynamics in Hollywood. The Me Too movement, spurred by Weinstein's victims coming forward, forced a reckoning with the widespread nature of harassment in the industry. The scandal exposed the deep-seated issues of power and exploitation that Hollywood had long attempted to conceal. 4. The mystery of Natalie Wood's death. Natalie Wood's death in 1981 remains one of Hollywood's most mysterious and tragic cases. Officially ruled as an accidental drowning, the circumstances surrounding Wood's death have been the subject of persistent speculation. Wood had been drinking heavily and had a heated argument with her husband, Robert Wagner, and actor Christopher Walken, who were also on the boat with her. Witnesses reported inconsistencies in their statements, and the lack of a thorough investigation led to widespread rumors about the true cause of her death. Some theories suggest foul play or a cover-up, with suggestions that Wagner's volatile behavior and possible drug use played a role in the incident. Hollywood's reluctance to investigate further and the rapid closure of the case reflect the industry's tendency to protect its stars and suppress damaging details. 5. The Michael Jackson child molestation allegations. Michael Jackson, the king of pop, faced serious allegations of child molestation in 1993 and again in 2005. Despite being acquitted in the 2005 trial, the allegations had a lasting impact on Jackson's career and public image. The media frenzy and legal battles were intense, with Jackson's team working tirelessly to manage the narrative and protect his public persona. Jackson's situation was exacerbated by his known eccentricities and the public's fascination with his personal life. The case brought to light the ways in which powerful figures can use their influence to control public perception and manage the fallout from serious allegations. The industry's response, including the focus on Jackson's music and charitable work, helped mitigate the impact of the scandals on his career. 6. The John Travolta sexual harassment lawsuits. John Travolta, known for his roles in Grease and Pulp Fiction, faced multiple sexual harassment lawsuits in the early 2010s. The lawsuits involved claims of inappropriate behavior by Travolta towards male massage therapists. These claims were settled out of court, with details of the settlements largely kept confidential. The handling of these lawsuits by Hollywood's PR machinery allowed Travolta's career to continue with minimal disruption. The industry's ability to manage and suppress allegations of harassment reflects a broader pattern of protecting powerful figures and minimizing the impact of such scandals on their careers. 7. The alleged cover-up of Rob Lowe's tape. In the late 1980s, Rob Lowe was involved in a scandal involving a sex tape featuring him and an underage girl. The tape, which was leaked, sparked a significant scandal. Hollywood's response involved legal threats and aggressive PR tactics to suppress the tape and control the narrative. Despite the seriousness of the allegations, Lowe's career did not suffer long-term damage. This case highlights Hollywood's capacity to manage and suppress damaging information, allowing stars to maintain their public personas despite serious controversies. 8. The cover-up of Charlie Sheen's HIV diagnosis. Charlie Sheen's HIV diagnosis in 2015 was a significant secret that he kept hidden for years. Sheen's announcement came only after he had been managing his condition privately, with few details made public. The entertainment industry's efforts to manage the public perception of Sheen's health reflect a broader issue of balancing personal health with public image. The secrecy surrounding Sheen's diagnosis and the management of his public persona illustrate the complexities of dealing with health issues in the limelight, especially when it involves high-profile celebrities. 9. The suppression of Elizabeth Taylor's marriages. Elizabeth Taylor's personal life was as dramatic as her film career, with 8 marriages and numerous high-profile relationships. While Taylor's marriages were often covered by the media, the less savory aspects of her relationships were frequently downplayed or hidden. Scandals involving her marriages, including affairs and tumultuous divorces, were managed through extensive PR efforts. Taylor's ability to maintain her career while managing these personal scandals reflects Hollywood's practice of protecting its stars' public images while concealing the more scandalous details of their private lives. 10. The Gene Tierney mental health cover-up. Gene Tierney, a glamorous actress of the 1940s, struggled with severe mental health issues, including schizophrenia. Despite her struggles, Hollywood maintained a facade of normalcy, rarely acknowledging her battles publicly. Tierney's mental health challenges were kept hidden, with the industry focusing instead on her career achievements and public appearances. The cover-up of Tierney's mental health struggles highlights the industry's tendency to obscure the realities of its stars' personal lives, focusing instead on maintaining a polished public image. 11. The cover-up of Joan Crawford's adoption scandal. Joan Crawford's adoption of her 2 children was surrounded by controversy. Allegations of neglect and abuse emerged, but were quickly suppressed by Hollywood's powerful public relations teams. The attempts to keep these issues hidden reflect the lengths to which the industry will go to protect the public images of its stars. Crawford's adoption scandal highlights the disparity between the idealized public persona and the troubling realities of celebrity life. 12. The suppression of the Olivia de Havilland and Errol Flynn affair. Olivia de Havilland and Errol Flynn were 2 of Hollywood's biggest stars in the 1930s, but their affair was shrouded in secrecy. Despite their on-screen chemistry and rumored off-screen romance, both stars went to great lengths to keep their relationship hidden. De Havilland's subsequent legal battles with Warner Bros. Over contract disputes and her later public statements suggest that Hollywood's control extended to personal relationships, suppressing any scandal that might tarnish the star's images. 13. The mystery behind Judy Garland's death. Judy Garland's death in 1969 was officially attributed to an overdose of barbiturates, but the circumstances surrounding her death remain suspicious. Garland, struggling with addiction and mental health issues, had been the subject of intense scrutiny and control by the Hollywood establishment. The handling of her death and the subsequent media coverage reflect the industry's tendency to obscure the realities of its stars' lives, protecting the public image while neglecting the personal struggles. 14. The cover-up of Marilyn Monroe's death. Marilyn Monroe's death in 1962 was officially ruled as a probable suicide, but numerous theories and allegations suggest otherwise. Monroe's troubled relationships with powerful figures, including President John F. Kennedy, and her struggles with substance abuse have led many to believe that her death was the result of foul play. Hollywood's reluctance to fully investigate or publicize the details of Monroe's death reveals the industry's willingness to protect its stars and the secrets they carry. 15. The suppression of Judy Garland's addiction struggles. Judy Garland, one of Hollywood's most beloved stars, faced significant struggles with addiction throughout her career. Garland's reliance on prescription medications to cope with the pressures of her career and personal life was well known among those close to her, but these issues were rarely discussed publicly. Hollywood's management of Garland's public image involved minimizing the impact of her addiction, focusing instead on her professional achievements. The industry's reluctance to address Garland's addiction highlights a broader pattern of ignoring the personal struggles of its stars. Garland's battles with substance abuse were kept hidden behind a facade of glamour, and her tragic death at a young age was a stark reminder of the consequences of this neglect. 16. The cover-up of Robert Wagner's alleged involvement in Natalie Wood's death. Robert Wagner, Natalie Wood's husband, has long been at the center of speculation regarding her mysterious death in 1981. Officially ruled an accidental drowning, the circumstances of Wood's death have led to numerous conspiracy theories involving Wagner. Allegations of Wagner's involvement in the incident have surfaced over the years, but Hollywood's focus on protecting Wagner's image and the lack of thorough investigation have kept many details obscured. The industry's handling of the case, including the suppression of potentially damaging information, reflects Hollywood's tendency to shield its stars from public scrutiny. The unresolved aspects of Wood's death continue to intrigue and frustrate those seeking the truth. 17. The secret behind the Twilight star's arrest. A well-known Twilight star faced arrest and legal troubles that were quickly managed and kept out of the public eye. The actor, who enjoyed immense popularity and was considered a heartthrob, was involved in a series of legal issues including arrests for substance abuse and disorderly conduct. The details of these incidents were kept under wraps through legal settlements and aggressive PR strategies. The way Hollywood managed this scandal underscores the industry's focus on maintaining the public image of its stars. By suppressing details and controlling the narrative, Hollywood was able to protect the actor's career and continue to capitalize on their popularity. 18. The cover-up of Elizabeth Taylor's drug addiction. Elizabeth Taylor's illustrious career was marred by a secret struggle with drug addiction. Despite her public image as a glamorous and talented actress, Taylor faced significant battles with prescription drugs, which were exacerbated by the demands of her career and personal life. The industry's response involved downplaying her addiction and focusing on her successes and high-profile relationships. Hollywood's management of Taylor's drug issues highlights the industry's tendency to protect its stars' public images while concealing the more troubling aspects of their personal lives. Taylor's addiction was kept hidden, with little public acknowledgement of the impact it had on her health and career. 19. The suppression of the Glee cast members' off-screen controversies. A cast member from the popular show Glee faced multiple controversies and legal issues that were largely kept out of the media spotlight. Allegations of inappropriate behavior, legal disputes, and personal struggles were managed through legal threats and PR campaigns designed to protect the show's image. Despite these efforts, the controversies eventually surfaced, revealing the lengths Hollywood will go to protect its stars and maintain the image of its successful productions. The suppression of these controversies underscores the industry's tendency to manage and obscure damaging information, allowing stars to continue their careers despite significant off-screen issues. 20. The cover-up of Charlie Chaplin's paternity scandal. Charlie Chaplin, the iconic silent film star, faced a significant scandal in the 1940s involving allegations of fathering a child with an underage girl. The scandal erupted when actress Joan Barry claimed that Chaplin was the father of her child. The ensuing legal battle not only threatened Chaplin's career, but also stirred public outrage. Chaplin's team worked tirelessly to suppress the scandal, with extensive media manipulation and legal maneuvering designed to protect his public image. The cover-up involved a combination of legal settlements, damage control, and strategic public relations efforts. Hollywood's handling of the scandal highlights the industry's willingness to shield its stars from the consequences of their actions, ensuring that their careers remain intact despite significant personal and legal issues. The scandal also had broader implications for Chaplin's career and his standing in the American film industry, reflecting the complex interplay between personal misconduct and public image management. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this deep dive into Hollywood's hidden scandals, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more exclusive content. Share your thoughts in the comments below and let us know which scandals surprised you